Hello and welcome back to Jacob's Toys. In this video we are going to take a very quick look at how I kit bashed stroke customised a Netflix Punisher figure. Now I absolutely love the Punisher Netflix stroke Disney Plus TV show, and we had a figure. We got a figure in the Man Thing wave quite a few years ago now, when the actual TV show started to first come out. Now the figure itself is really cool. I'll just put him up there. It is Frank Castle, obviously in his trench coat look, but the figure itself is fantastic. I really like it as a Marvel Legends figure. Now, it's a 6-inch figure, so yes, there are versions of the character out there that are a lot more detailed, but as far as a Marvel Legends figure goes, this one was really cool. Having rewatched the series recently, he has a couple of different looks in the TV show that include obviously the trench coat, long sleeves, short sleeves, etc, etc. One of my favourite looks is where he's got his Punisher vest on, but the sleeves are slightly rolled up. So what I decided to do is to, I say customise stroke kit bash, because a kit bash is when you basically take a part of one figure and add it to another figure, or kind of mix the figures in, similar to what I did in my Fantastic Four Human Torch kind of mix up. That's classed as a kit bash. A customised figure is when you obviously add paint or sculpting or some kind of extra work where you change the figure beyond the way that it looked originally. That's my understanding of the two differences anyway. And I say this is a kit bash stroke custom because I did cut up a few figures, so I made this version of the figure using 2 other figures as well, so 3 figures in total, and I did have to paint some of the arms and cut some of the arms as well that change it. I couldn't go back now, so it's a kit bash stroke custom. But let me just run you through the process of what I did, just so you can see it. So as I said, please like, share, subscribe and all those things. All support's very much appreciated. Without further ado, let's have a look at my customised kit bashed Punisher from the Netflix stroke Disney Plus TV show. So here he is, the short sleeved Frank Castle from Netflix stroke Disney Plus, the Punisher. I'm really pleased with the way that he looks. As I said, the figure itself I've always loved. He's a very popular one now. People are, he's definitely a favourite. I think that everything about this figure is fantastic, but I have changed a few pieces about him just to make him exactly how I wanted him to look on the shelf. So the most obvious change is the sleeves. I also added like a thigh strap, and I changed his gun as well for one that was sent over to me, like a cast, just 'cause I think it looks a bit more menacing, looks a bit more realistic. Still got full articulation in the arms, even though I have changed them over, so you can move them around, get him into a nice pose just like that. But I'm pretty confident in saying that this change is definitely a positive one. I think that it's a good way of displaying him. I just think I don't know, just when I think of him with his sleeves rolled up. So the 2 figures that I used was the MCU Claw figure. So I used the bottom half of his shirt here. As you can see, they are white, and I also used the ring here on the claw arms. So I had to cut these apart so that I could get the ring out in one piece, just because they fit into that hole there. Now, the normal elbows, obviously, in a Marvel Legends figure have the pins and stuff, so I needed these pieces out of the claw figure to fit into those rolled up sleeves. So I used as I said, the peg in the arms and the bottom half of the shirt. I picked up a couple of these 6-arm Spideys when they came out because they weren't overly popular at the time, and you could get them for quite cheap. And the reason I picked them up is because he comes with 2 sets of flesh-toned arms. You have got other flesh-toned arms, so this is obviously Legion in the more recent Age of Apocalypse wave, but you can see here the size difference between those 4 arms, and the colouring as well. Just wouldn't have worked very well. It wouldn't have looked very realistic. They would have been too big, and even though Frank Castle is quite a muscly guy anyway, those 4 arms would have just been too long and just looked too oversized. So that's the reason why the 6-arm Spidey is a great alternative. If you can pick one of these guys up, they're on the groups, they're on eBay and stuff like that, and if you can pick one up, they're great for customs because those 4 flesh-toned arms are really useful, and I've used them quite a few times actually. And then all I did was I just popped it out at the peg and attached it to the claw peg, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. I used the boil and pop technique. So I just put the Punisher figure in some hot water, and I put the Claw figure in some hot water as well, and was able to just pop off the forearms at the shoulder like that, without causing any damage to it. So I've got these and the jacket still completely unmarked, that I can just put back onto the figure and have him back in his original state. But just taking the jacket off wasn't enough for me, because they do look like coat arms. They were too thick and ruffled. So there we go. So that's pretty much all I did. I'm really pleased with how he turned out, and I think the addition of the holster on the thigh as well, it's like a magazine holster for the gun that he's carrying, I think that kind of fleshes out his arms a little bit. So let's have a very quick look at one of the photos I took. So this is just a photo I took of him in a kind of natural surrounding, just to show him off a little bit. I'm really pleased with how he turned out. Please do like, share, subscribe and all those things. I'll see you soon.